Good morning, my loves. Happy Wednesday. There are people who are just addicted to trauma drama. They attract it like a moth to a flame. But before we judge them too harshly, I want you to think a minute. Just take a minute. What were their lives like growing up? Because a child will learn whatever they live, because life is all about learned behaviors. So if you have a child who grew up with family violence, drugs, alcohol, abuse, neglect, abandonment, sexual abuse, by the time that child is 4 and 5, that's all they know. By the time they're 10, yeah, that's the norm, that's their life. They assume everybody's like this. Or they see other people who have a normal life and they think they're weird because all they know is what they know. This child is going to grow up with serious problems. They're not going to know how to develop and nurture a normal relationship. They've never been shown. They've never been taught. I see a lot of this. I have known a lot of people that are like this. They've never had it. They want it. But when they get into a normal relationship, they will self-sabotage because they only know how to exist in chaos. So they will blow it up because they don't know how to exist in it. And that's really sad. It takes a lot of time, a lot of patience. They have to learn from the ground up how to have a normal, happy life. There are people in this world, children in this world, who are in fight and flight every day. They're always scared to death, ready to react, because they don't know who's going to come at them next, who's going to hurt them physically, mentally, emotionally, sexually. They have to be ready for battle all the time. They cannot let their guard down. And that's so sad. There are kids who have never known, to crawl up in mom or dad's lap or grandma's lap and get cuddles. They've never had that. When they crawl up into somebody's lap, it's for something completely different, and it's not cuddles. It's abuse. And by the time you're 14, 15, that is taking a heavy toll on your body and on your mind and on your soul. They need help. They need understanding. They need patience. They need somebody to take them under wing and say, hey, there is another option. You don't have to live like this. But they have to be instructed. They have to be taught. It's a learned behavior. They can read it in a book, but they don't know how to put it into practice. Please be patient with people. Cut them a little slack. You don't know what they grew up in. When you go into counseling, one of the first things that we ask somebody is, tell me about your life growing up. They automatically assume we're wanting to play the blame game. Hey, it's not my mom's fault. It's not my dad's fault. Nobody said that. I want to know what foundations you grew up with. I want to know what skills you have learned. And you learn those skills from ground zero up. People don't think about that. Think about what you're teaching your children every day without even realizing it. You're teaching them, male or female, how to get along with the opposite sex. Do you treat the opposite sex with respect and kindness, or are you abusive, demeaning, violent? Do you call people out of their name? Is that what you're teaching your child? To speak harshly? Are you teaching your child to be in fight or flight? Because they're going to copy you. They're going to do what you do. So if you are in a constant state of anxiety and turmoil, they will be too, because it's a model behavior. Are you teaching them, instead of talking through problems, to react with violence? Violence toward other people, violence toward things, breaking the TV, throwing the remote, abusing animals. Is that what you're teaching them? Because there are other options. Parents that fight all the time in front of the kids, you're showing your kids this is how we resolve issues. We don't talk. We don't listen. We scream and we yell and we throw things. Stop. Just stop. Your kids deserve better. Honey, you deserve better. If you're in a relationship and it's so toxic that you can't have a conversation, that all you do is scream and yell, you're not listening to each other, then it's time to get out. That's not a relationship. That's a fight. You deserve peace. You deserve happiness. Your kids deserve peace and happiness. But don't bounce into another relationship until you heal. Just bouncing from one toxic environment to another isn't going to do any good. You have to learn healthy behaviors. Your kids have to learn healthy behaviors. It's possible. It takes some time. It takes a lot of patience. You have to admit that you were wrong. You have to admit to your kids, hey, I was wrong. There are other ways to do this. What are you teaching your kids? What were your parents teaching you? What did your grandparents teach them? It's not too late to break the chain, to make the changes in your life, and to have a life of happiness.